Hi everyone, Mrs. V here, and today we are going to continue with our IUPAC nomenclature. Today we're going to name those wonderful fruity compounds the esters. So let's get that whiteboard on and let's get naming. Esters have a double barrel name. Their IUPAC proper form of the name is alkyl alkynoate. It's two words. Normally, I'm banging on about not leaving spaces in organic nomenclature. However, in the ester, there is a space here because the name is two words, and that's because the ester has two alkyl groups. There are two carbon chains in an ester. The first one, the alkyl part of the name, comes from the alcohol that it's made from. Of course, you'll remember from our video on esterification reactions of alcohols that esters are made from alcohols and carboxylic acids. So the alkynoate name comes from the carboxylic acid. So if you know what your ester has been made from, it's really easy to name it. So let's have a look at an example here. We have methanol and butanoic acid. Now, of course, the alcohol has the suffix of -ol, and it's pretty easy to recognize which one is the carboxylic acid because it has acid in its name. So let's have a go. So we have our alcohol is methanol. That's going to give us a methyl group. So it's going to be methyl. And our butanoic acid is going to give us butanoate. Pretty simple. Pause the video, have a go at the next one. All right, so the only thing that could have thrown you in this was seeing that we had propan 1-ol. All that tells you is that the propanol is a straight chain alcohol, and it means we're going to get a propyl group. And then from our methanoic acid here, we're going to get methanoate. Ethanol and benzoic acid. I'm not sure if you've met benzoic acid before. Benzoic acid is just a benzene ring. With a carboxylic acid group attached. Makes no difference, however, is the way we name it. Ethanol is going to give us an ethyl group. And the benzoic acid is going to give us benzoate. Finally, cyclohexanol and ethanoic acid. Now, there's nothing to fear with cyclohexanol. It's just 6 carbon atoms in a ring with a hydroxyl group attached. And the cyclohexanol will give us a cyclohexyl group. And of course, our ethanoic acid is going to give us ethanoate. Pretty easy. So nothing to this naming of esters but wait. It's not always that simple. Sometimes you're not given the acid and the alcohol, and you're going to have to work that out. So in the ester, the oxygen in the ester group is called the bridging oxygen. And we also have, our bridging oxygen here, and we also have a carbonyl group. And that's what makes the ester group. Now, if you want to find out what the alcohol and carboxylic acid was that made that ester, all you've got to do is slash that group right down the middle. And then you've got two parts. So you've got your carbonyl part, and you've got your bridging oxygen part. Now you just need to, remember how an esterification reaction makes water with the hydrogen from the alcohol and the hydroxyl group comes off of the carboxylic acid? Well, all you've got to do is put them back. So you've got to put the OH back onto the carboxylic acid and the hydrogen back. Now we can see that this has come from ethanoic acid and ethanol. So its name is ethyl ethanoate. Let's have a go at another one. So here all we need to do is identify where our ester group is, and then we need to slash it down the middle. This leaves us with two parts. Our part with the carbonyl group and our part with the alcohol. Now all we need to do is put our OH back on the carboxylic acid and our hydrogen back onto the alcohol. And we can see here we have how many carbons? We have 1, 2, 3. So this is propanoic acid. How many carbon atoms here? Just 1. So this is methanol, sorry. So the name of this one would be methyl propanoate. All we need to do now is just practice, practice, practice. So here are some examples. Let's look at this first one. We are going to go through and identify the alcohol and the carboxylic acid first. So the ester group, here it is, slash it down the middle. Now draw our two parts. And then now we've just got to work out which acid and which alcohol this is from. Oh, we've got to put our OH back on here and our H back onto the alcohol. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is hexanoic acid. If you've forgotten how to name the carboxylic acid, you can always refer back to the video on carboxylic acid naming. And then we have our alcohol having 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is butan-1-ol. So the name of our ester, therefore, is butyl hexanoate. All right, I want you to pause the video and try the next one. We'll be back in a sec with the answer. Okay, let's split that ester group down the middle and look at what we've got. We have a benzene ring with a carboxylic acid attached to it. Do you remember what we called that? We mentioned that earlier. That is benzoic acid. And then we have our oxygen. Let's put our OH back on to the acid and our hydrogen back onto the alcohol, and we will see that what we have here is ethanol. We know that because there are 1, 2 carbon atoms. So the name of our ester is ethyl benzoate. All right, a couple more examples just to practice. I want you to pause the video and I want you to work out what the name of these two esters are, and then we're going to come back with the answer. Okay, how did you go? So we're going to split our ester group. The ester's written in the opposite way this time, but nothing to fear, nothing to fear. So here's our alcohol part. Here's our carboxylic acid part. Let's put our hydrogen back onto the alcohol and our hydroxyl group back onto the acid. This is cyclohexanol. This has 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon atoms, so that is butanoic acid. So the name of this ester was cyclohexyl butanoate. And finally, splitting our ester group down the middle, what do we have? We have our alcohol part, and we have our carboxylic acid part. Reform the alcohol and the carboxylic acid, and let's see what we have. 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon atoms makes this butan-1-ol. And 1, 2, 3 carbon atoms makes this propanoic acid. So the name of this ester, butyl propanoate. I hope you've enjoyed learning how to name the esters. If you found this video useful, if you understand naming esters just a little bit better than you did before, please consider giving the video a like. And as always, for more wonderful chemistry, please subscribe to my channel and watch plenty of videos. I'm going to see you guys in the next video.